there's a tall, skinny Scottish bloke being all funny and such on the radio. It's the David Tennant Being Hilarious podcast.
Why don't we read out some lyrics, and you have to guess whether they are lyrics from Irish girl band Bewitched, or from the Welsh rockers... No. Yeah, they're Welsh.
Yes. I tell you what, for an idea you were up all night slaving over, you seem very confused.
Well, he's up all
and why
night
do you
for
keep
other
reading the
reasons as
script that's been handed to you as well?
This is extempore, the whole thing.
Right, okay.
So let's try it out. You and Richie, fingers on buzzers.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
What is your buzzer?
I'll tell you what, Christian, why don't you start in control? And then if you get one wrong,
because this is
control.
Is this how it's going to
work?
work?
Yes.
Right, okay.
That's how I'd run it.
I'll decide. How
He's going to decide over here.
All right, very good
He's
luck.
come up with this all night.
I want buzzers. Where are the buzzers?
Okay,
There you go.
what's yours again? All right.
It's nice, like a kazoo.
Yes.
Buzz in when you know the answer. Whose lyric is this? Oh, Mr. Postman. Yes, Christian.
Stereophonics.
And I'm passing it over to Richie.
Bewitched.
It is.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Postman, give me a sign. Tell me you've a letter to make me feel fine. To be honest, I think that was a cover version. Perhaps not the best first one for me to choose on my quiz that I've been up all night thinking about. Right, here's the second one. Hey,
Well, you can't just buzz in without
you
even
can't
hearing
buzz in
it.
before. No, you're locked out of this round, Richie.
I like the lockout. I never would have
Shopping
thought that.
spree for the family tree. Yes, Christian.
Stereophonics.
Well, good. 1 point. Very good. So this may be the decider. C'est la vie. Yes, Richie.
Bewitched.
Is the correct answer.
You're listening to the David Tennant Being Hilarious podcast.
Now, since we last saw you, your brood has increased. You have now become a dad again.
I know, number 4 has arrived, yeah.
Wow. What is it like the Waltons round there at the Tennant household now?
I know it's getting it's a bit of a brood.
So what happens is, I guess you've been working abroad a lot. You're coming back like maybe a serviceman. There's some amorous scenes upstairs, and then 9 months later, another one pops out.
It's got nothing to do with me. I just,
It's nothing to do with you.
I don't know
I'm
how
so
it
sorry
works.
to hear that. While DT's away. So it's going to be a busy Christmas.
It certainly is, yeah. I don't know, a sleepless Christmas, I suspect.
And so have you got a little boy or a little girl?
Little girl, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So we got 2 of each.
Right, and so I'm surprised your wife has let you out the house then, because obviously you've been busy filming, you're back for a couple of weeks, and then you've come out to hang out with us for a couple of hours.
Well, we were up all night anyway, it doesn't make any difference.
I don't want to say anything, but you have the look of a new dad. I know you're not a new dad,
Haunted.
but it's the hollowed out look.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you still, it looks as fresh as anything, but it's the eyes. It's the eyes that give it away, because people lie to you when you have a baby. They go, oh, it's the first 3 months, it's the toughest. It's like that for the first couple of years.
Yeah, and then it keeps going in different ways.
Well, it's just a different thing changes. We were talking about this earlier. So last night I was helping with, I wasn't helping at all, with Ruby's homework, which you've been able to express 6.85 as a fraction.
Oh, 8, 5, 6 and 85th hundreds. 85 hundredths, which would go down to, I'd have to have a bit of paper.
Please, furnish him with that paper. Let's see
all
this.
right, it's fine,
No, you asked for it.
We're not live
Come
on air,
no,
that would be...
we will. Come on. Scottish people famously very good with numbers and money.
Yes.
You know?
It'll take me a while. Player's record, I'll get back to you.
You've got to do the travel news now,
Yeah, I'm ready for that, yeah.
right?
Yeah, let's
So
go.
you can't work out 6.85.
Well,
This is an 11-year-old's homework.
It'd be 6 and 85 over 100, and then you divide that down by 5s or something.
Yeah, you're going down that. I couldn't even do that,
So that would
David.
be 20.
I just chucked it all into Google. I did, so you sort it out.
That would be, literally, come on, I was up all night.
Absolute radio travel with the Skoda Fabia. Head-turning technology as standard. DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity and a stop-start engine system.
The M6 is worth avoiding this morning, if you can. It says it's a bit chatty, this particular bulletin. 2 lanes are closed on the motorway northbound in Lancashire after a lorry fire between junction 27 and 28. That's Leyland to the Oral interchange. Also on the M6 in the West Midlands, a lane is closed due to a broken down vehicle southbound between junction 6 and 5. And it heads up for later in Staffordshire. An abnormal load is going to close the A34 southbound at around 10:30 this morning as it heads towards Stafford. Sounds sinister. There's no word on what the abnormal load is. We do know it's going to be slow, cumbersome and abnormal. A bit like Richie. I did not write that. More in 20.
David freaking Tennant. Fuck yeah.
Great DJ from Ting Tings. That's the kind of music that the youth are listening to, David Tennant.
Yeah,
is that the sort of music that you're listening to?
I love that album. Yes, I have that in my collection.
Do you keep up with what's happening in youth music?
With the popular music hit parade, I try to. I try to, but sometimes you'll just miss it. You'll miss a movement, won't you?
Have you missed, what did he mean? Crunk? Was that what it was called? Crunk? Was it Crunk or Crunk?
I certainly missed that.
Crunk.
Yeah.
Did you miss Crunk?
Yeah, I missed Crunk.
That was a real movement, I don't...
Yeah, who was in Crunk? Who was a crunker?
I think it was a mixture between grime, heavy garage, intelligent two-step. What?
No, it was a kind of American hip-hop
Then what was
offshoot, wasn't it?
crumping?
Crumping?
Crumping was a
That's something
style
you
of
do with your hair.
dance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like really vigorous, so crumping and crunk are two separate things.
Is it the same as twittering?
That's quite different, Stephen, and we both know that.
Do you do all that?
No.
Who's got time? Who cares? Honestly, do you know what I mean?
A cup of tea, oh, who cares?
I know. People would care about what you were doing. This is what would be extraordinary. You'd have...
Well, there's plenty of people pretending to be me on Twitter, so you can,
just
you can
enjoy
tune
when
in and they can tell you they're having a cup of tea. It'll just be the same. It'll be a different cup of tea, but the information's the same.
It's not... Listen, you have a very unique way of drinking a cup of tea.
Well,
right? I'm watching you right
how do I
now.
transmit that through 140 characters, my unique way?
It's just the fact that they know you're having a cup of tea at that moment. And
I'm having a cup of tea right now. There you go. Twitter that.
Twitter that. I like it when there's people who've got people doing it for them. Isn't it? Some of the big stars like Britney Spears and people have people twittering on their behalf.
Tell them I'm having a cup of tea.
Exactly. Do you have any of that kind of? Do you have an entourage? Do you have all those sort of showbiz trappers?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, sure I do.
Come on.
You see them all outside with their faces
You
pressed up
must
against the glass, waiting for you to say the wrong thing.
Wouldn't you like
slap
to do
a lawsuit
that?
on you?
Wouldn't it be good though to be that
Love
successful
it.
that you could have all that you just could insulate
love
yourself
it.
from the world like Prince or Tom Cruise? That would be great.
Be great.
Just
wouldn't
not having to deal with real people anymore and going just properly mad through fame would be just great fun.
Yeah, to have underground tunnels leading from your house to everywhere you need
Exactly,
to be.
that you need to ever be.
That would be great.
And just making absurd decisions that no one's going to question. I'm going to wear a turban to the BAFTAs. It's not appropriate, Steve. I'm doing it. It would be so much fun.
And I'm arriving by camel.
Exactly. Yeah. They want me there or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, one day. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. You can do that. You're a Hollywood movie star these days. You can arrive by camel.
Thank you for asking. You're looking forward to my forthcoming... No, listen.
Are you playing a pixie or something? Isn't that right?
Whoa, hang on. Okay, I've got standards.
Yeah.
Me as a pixie, absurd. You're thinking of a fairy.
Ah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'll be playing a fairy in the forthcoming film, The Tooth Fairy. I'm not the Tooth Fairy of the title, I'm an assistant fairy.
Who's the Tooth Fairy of the title?
It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Should I know who that is?
Oh, this is embarrassing.
Sorry.
Rock.
The Rock.
Oh, the WWF.
Well, he's an actor. Now?
Sure he is. Yeah. No, I said sure he is.
I done Shakespeare, me. I done a little bit of Shakespeare. I'm disrespecting The Rock. If he was in here now, mate, he would do you, because you ain't got your sonic screwdriver, have you? Where would you be without that, mate? The Rock, he'd duff you right up.
If he was in here right now, I'd be telling him what a fine classical actor he is. Because he's probably quite big, isn't he?
He's a huge man. He's a giant of a man.
Was he good on his lines?
Great on his lines. He's got a great comic. Listen to this. It's interesting. This is typical of actors. Actors, they don't like it, do they, when other people do it? Oh, I'm a trained actor. Are you trained, really? You're trained. What does that mean, really? You went to a school.
Was he in the moment? The Rock.
He was in the moment.
Was he?
No, I mean, obviously he's not as experienced and professional actor as your good self, obviously. Okay, no.
Well, he's the one doing Hollywood films, so
Thank you.
fair play to The Rock.
No, I tell you what, he's got a really great. The reason I redid it is because he's got a really great sort of, I think, quite old school kind of comic sense about him. He reminds me of sort of those sort of 40s movie stars. He's just got a real kind of warmth to him and a real charm, a kind of lightness of touch. And no, he's good. I think you'd be very surprised when you attend the premiere.
I look forward to it.
You'll be eating your words
when I arrive by camel to your premiere.
Exactly.
We can compare turbans.
You're listening to the David Tennant Being Hilarious podcast.
David, we have a series of questions that we sort of ask all of our guests, the same question each time.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Inside the Actors Studio?
Well, I know of what you talk. Yes,
indeed.
Yes.
Well, we've drawn up our own series of questions, and so, just answer instinctively, don't try to think about it, so we can get inside your psyche.
Sure.
What would you ban?
I'd ban being able to text in to the news to give your opinion. That's what I'd ban. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because then you get a newsreader reading it out like it's important that somebody from Cheam doesn't like Gordon Brown that week. I think Gordon Brown should be sacked. And that's come in from a viewer in Leicester. Who cares? I'd ban that.
Or
with extreme prejudice.
Sometimes they expand it to a sort of poll. So, it's suddenly 52% of our listeners say that,
And you don't mind when Channel 5 do it, because you think, well,
What else have they got?
But the BBC News 24 do it as well.
Yeah.
Send in your opinion.
No,
text us in what you think. Don't text us in what you think. Read the news. Just tell us what happened.
What advice would you give your teenage self?
Go for it a bit more.
Go for it a bit more?
Yeah, come on.
Wow.
Come on. Don't be so scared. That's what I'd say.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how, do you know what? I don't know how higher up the tree of life you could climb.
No, but I'm talking about,
Oh, with the ladies?
Yeah.
Oh, bless them. If you could jump into any film and live the life depicted in that film, which one would you choose?
Wow. Good question. And really difficult to answer.
It is hard.
I mean, virtually impossible.
The most common answer, I think, is Dirty Dancing. I think we've had that at least twice, haven't we?
Yeah. No, it would have to be Casino Royale or The Spy Who Loved Me.
The spoof version with David Niven from 1967?
No.
The more recent...
Yeah. You have to be a bit of Bond, wouldn't you? That's great.
We'll talk about that later off now. I got certain problems with Bond. I mean, I'm a big fan, but there's certain... I mean, frankly, I've never known a man do so many bad puns. I mean, working in the comedy business, you can't get away with that sort of material, frankly. I mean, some of it is just absurd.
It's catharsis after he's just stoved someone's head in with a fire extinguisher, though, isn't it?
And, electrocutes a man in the bath. Shocking. That you're a psychopath. You've just killed a man. What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Yes, but if you were within the world of that film and within the world of that character,
but who's he talking to?
You wouldn't care.
But there's no one there. He's not even saying it to anyone.
To the audience.
He's just saying it into the ether.
Yeah.
What wakes you up in a cold sweat? What sort of recurring nightmare do you have?
Well, it used to be something to do with plumbing.
Your plumbing?
Not my own. No, it used to be boiler related or leaking tap related.
So you had a boiler problem and you just kept thinking about it?
Yeah, but I've moved now, so until... I think I probably still wake up worried that I'll have a new boiler problem in my new place and that it'll start all over again and I'll never escape the plumbing issues of life.
And with that revelation, we say thank you to David Tennant.
Thank you.
This podcast was brought to you by Stephen D. Henderson. All clips remain copyright of their original owners, including Absolute Radio, Bauer Media, BBC. You will not own the car. See in store for detailed terms and conditions apply.